Hey there, today I have found a 30-acre lot over near Marquette area for $69,900. I'm going to share with you. It was just listed today 4 hours ago. We'll go ahead and flip through pictures first. It does come with this camper, deer blind, shed was all listed in the listing, as well as a mower. And apparently they have apple trees. They mentioned that as well. I'm not sure how many. It sounded like they had a lot. I don't know if that is a rug. It's a 29-foot camper, I believe, and a 16 by 10 shed, which is really nice. This, I believe, is a generator that also comes with this. Deer blind, aerial view. So I'm not sure which area this is. They do have a map that shows it pretty well. It has a fire address, which is nice. Those are pretty expensive to get. So it is on, looks like it borders on two roads, this little L shape here. There is a neighbor. I believe there's power on this road, though it doesn't say that. So yeah, so let's look at the listing. This is 30 acres of apple trees galore, plus nice fields to make your home front lawn or cut for hay. The seller has done due diligence and done some amazing cleanup and improvements of this property. It is close to Marquette, Chatham, or Munising, close to trails. You could build a year-round home and deer hunting. They have food plots planted, along with a quiet location and many, many apple trees. There is a 2011 29-foot Jayco camper. There is a 60 by 10 shed, and the small shed that has a new 3800 watt generator, a Cub Cadet zero-turn lawnmower, a deer blind, and a bridge at the back. Not sure if the bridge is for water or a ditch. Planted a few other trees, added a gate. Did not have a fire address, but now it does. So this has quite a bit of things that are a headache to do. So year-round road, gravel road. Taxes, I would not worry about taxes. I'll put the link of the Michigan property tax estimator in so you can get an actual number on that. This tells you where it is located. It is Rock River Township, and zoning agriculture is not correct from what I have found. And let's look at history. So I don't see any recent sales. It was just listed today. I'm curious about flood risk, as I'll show you why here in a minute. Yeah, so location-wise, this is, when I put the address in, this isn't quite right. It's actually right here. There's a house on the corner, and then the property is right here. And when you do the satellite, you can see it does look like there is a creek or something coming through. And when you zoom in, it just looks a little sketchy. This is the camper and the cleared portion. And then it looks like, let me see if I can get to that layout one. These are very helpful. So you can see it's like just south of the clearing and then up to the edge of the road. So it's hard to tell. So maybe here, kind of looks like a property line here, across here, and then all the way back to here. So just wondering like what this water is and what the flood zone is. I don't have an option on here to see flood zone, but that would be definitely something to look into. I was able to find Rock River Township online, and there's an email and a phone number to call to check that out. Down toward the bottom, they do have the zoning maps and the zoning information, which I've looked at. So this is definitely in the orange. Can't remember which road it is. It's so small. Roomley Road. I think it's this one. So here's the road that zigzags. There's a property on the corner, and then it's this property here. So when you go down and look at the legend, it is this resource production. So when you look at the zoning ordinance, you can actually, if you do Control F, you can search search the document, which is nice. So you can find the section. So here is what the permitted uses are, which I find this one's kind of interesting. Automotive repair, adult foster care, automobile, farm implement, and recreational vehicle sales and service. I don't know if recreational vehicles is supposed to have a comma after it and then sales and service, or if it just means recreational vehicle sales and service. So agriculture, single family home, two family home. It doesn't really say much about recreational vehicles, which is what they consider the camper. So being that there's a camper on the property, I'm always just kind of leery, like, does the zoning allow there to be a camper on the property all the time? And maybe they don't, and maybe that's why the guy is selling it. When you look up recreational vehicle, it comes up in this recreational sale and service, but also, so a dwelling is not a recreational vehicle. A mobile home is not a recreational vehicle. This is about storage facility. A recreational vehicle is basically a camper, truck camper, motor home, but it doesn't tell you when you can have them and when you can't. Everything is just this recreational sales and service. So that could be a good thing. It could mean that they do not regulate or have any zoning restrictions on campers, but I would definitely call and check. So that's the zoning. I'll put the link to this in the listing for this. And then I also added this to the sheet. It comes out to be $2,330 per acre, which is pretty good. I do believe it has electric available. Currently it's a generator. I'm gonna update that because that's what it says in the listing. And then it's 25 miles to Dollar General, and then listing out the camper, shed, generator, mower, apple trees. Double check the zoning. It is resource production, and then I would say watch flood zone too for that one because it did look a little possible. Let me see if I go. Yeah, there's just nothing showing as far as if there's water over here. For some reason, I don't have ability to turn on flood zone. And then on the listing itself, they don't have it on the map either yet. They just listed it today, so they may be updating it. As far as the trail system, I will show you my desktop version of VV mapping. So here is the area. There's Marquette, Deer Park, and all of that. So when we zoom in, you can see here is the main M94 going across. This is the road going up, and then that property was right here in this area. Now this one does show water over here. So you can definitely ride four-wheelers and side-by-sides on these roads. You cannot ride on the M road, but it does look like there's a way, like you could cut across a bit because there is a trail over here. So you can cut across to get to this trail for summer trail riding. And then in the winter, the Trail 8 goes right through the south end, so you'd be able just to go out and hit Trail 8, and then you could hit, all the trails. So trail access is pretty good for that one as well. So that is what I had today. Just wanted to share this new listing. I think if I was still in the market looking for property, I would definitely get over and take a look at this one, call the zoning office and make sure that, the camper is okay if you want to go that way, or if you want to build, make sure it's not in a flood zone. I will put all the links that you need for the township in the description, and we'll keep an eye on it. I have a feeling this one might go fast. Thanks.